So today's video is going to be ranking the opening dances on The Next Step. So far there have been 7 seasons of The Next Step. I think that's, sorry about this piece of hair, it doesn't know what it wants to do with itself. Wearing this nice tiara. So far there have been 7 seasons, so they'll be ranking 7 opening dances, but actually there's 6, but you're going to find out where there wasn't an opening dance. Bottom is season 5. They literally did not do an opening dance, isn't that right? Slick. Do we talk about this a lot? Yes, Slick's even agreeing to that one. So there's nothing really to judge. Like, I don't think any of us can actually judge anything about the opening dance because there just wasn't one. I did like the season 5 auditions though. Like, I liked the song they did their auditions right here, right now. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. Nice. What would be nice to see in the first episode of season 5 is them rehearsing for A-Troop auditions and have a dance at the end, because people rehearsing in the off seasons, but nice to see a dedicated episode to rehearsing. I think we can all agree here. This is Harry Hedgehog, Kevin Cara and Slick the Fox. These two feature in the What I Got for Christmas, which will hopefully be up today. 6th place is season 1 group dance. Given the characters. So it would have been nice to see more unison sections in the dance, because they have one at the end and that was like it. It did introduce A-Troop quite well. Also, we find out who's new, who's returning. I think we can all agree with that. Here, if you're wondering why I'm saying that, I'm saying it to Slick, Kevin and Jog. I love how everybody got to show off their best tricks. By the end, you can tell that the end was not as good as the beginning. It was rather chaotic by the end. People had run out of ideas and were just doing the same thing. The dance needed a lot more choreography. It would have been nice if they finished their solo, they'd then join in with the choreography. Next is season 2. I think we can all say it's better than the ones below it. It's better than the ones below it. It was a great group dance. But it's not as good as the ones that came after it. What is this piece of hair doing? I like how everybody got to do a solo and there was an individual element to it. It was not repetitive. It was nothing special though, I will admit. The routine's very boring, very basic. Just did what it needed to do, but it gave the audience the excitement about season 2, which is good. Slow motion worked wonders for this dance. Season 2 opening dance was a supportive environment, like every dance. So it was just there celebrating the regionals win, really soaking it up, really celebrating with their friends, loads of chemistry. Everyone really was soaking that regionals win. There was not supporting for the sake of it, it's being generally supportive. Riley and James had a lot of chemistry. I wasn't a big fan of Jiley now, after 7 seasons, but back then I did like them, but I wasn't a big fan of Jiley as season 2 went on. The lifts were very high standard, very natural. It wasn't one then stopped then the other. It carried on very nicely. I like how well it worked. I think we can agree, Kevin. And I wasn't just moving, that's just clapping. It made it realistic. In an opening dance, you'd want to be like cheering on your friends. it didn't wow me, but it didn't let me down compared to like some of them. Next is season 7. Tell the Story is my favourite song and dance but it could have been made better because the big reason, no unison sections, and there was one but it was quite easy. Like they're just doing something with Michelle because it was more based on the fact Michelle was leaving than the actual opening dance. Some should have been as good as the first episode because the song Tell the Story is such a good song and a song I really like. The dance at the start I loved, which led me to believe it's going to be a good dance. It was nice to see the shot of them coming into the studio, which felt good because it had been a long time between season 7 and season 6. So should not have had talking heads. Ozzy, all it did was turn, so it would have been nice to see more of his growth, more screen time. There was more we could see but didn't see because at that point the attention was on Piper. Piper was good in that dance. I loved the pin lift. It was good dance for an opening dance. The purpose was an opening dance rather than a dance we've been waiting to see. It didn't seem like it was coming back with this fantastic group dance. It was sort of, let's throw all these moves together, no unison sections, people going in and out at different lengths of time. Cut to Michelle, which made it a bit mismatched. The quality was not so good, but the moves people were doing were good. Compared to the ones below it, third place is the OG Season 4, OG A-Troopers. Also, we found that out who was in A-Troop, which I really liked. We were seeing who was staying, who was moving on, that kind of stuff. Found it everybody in A-Troop was doing next. Take It to the Top had loads of different moves, and the moves were done to a high standard, really maintained that high standard, which is good. I did notice Stephanie mess up some of the choreo in the group section slightly. I liked that West was leading the dance and doing a good job leading it. West was literally a side character and deserved better. I wish he could audition for the male soloist at internationals because I remember Noah being annoyed about it. But it would have been nice if West had been annoyed about it too. Which I can understand why Noah's annoyed about it because nobody held an audition for it. It was just held and picked. Which I don't think was fair because there are other good male dancers. It would have been significant character development. I remember in season 2, West being willing to try and James wouldn't allow him because Alden needed to boost his confidence, which I don't agree with. Everybody should be allowed to try. What West does in every season is above good enough to be male soloist. Even though Alden's amazing at internationals, it would have been nice to see other people try rather than Riley and Alden have it all, which I felt was that way in the season. All of the time. Riley wasn't even that good, to be honest. Like, she wasn't better than a lot of the... It's like, Amanda was better than her. Giselle was better than her. A lot of them are better than her. Have stuff they just do better, like Amanda in season 3 was a lot better than Riley, if I'm honest. West and Alden duet in season 3 for the tiebreaker is a showdown. And everything was good about that duet from the ribbons. It would have been nice if they could have done the tiebreaker. All characters had their moment in the spotlight. There were big characters, so it was good to have their moment. When they left the dance, they left the studio, so end pose didn't have everyone, which would have been nice to have everybody in the end pose rather than all the characters that were staying. And all the characters not staying, as soon as they left the dance, they leave Studio A. Been nice to see them. Second place is season 6 Work. I liked Work. It was one of my favourite dances. Wasn't quite to the level of Coming Home. There was just something about Coming Home. I feel like Coming Home, the unison sections were better, like they were a lot more complicated, whereas Work's unison sections were very samey. Kind of basic, kind of like safe, if I'm honest. I think I like the thing they did with the tower, and Noah flipped through it, came through it beautifully. Work, I liked how they were frozen in season 6 and season 3 group dances. I remember so well because they are the best 2 group dances on the show. Work is also one of my favourite songs on The Next Step. The hype was built up, but it didn't have as much of the impressive season 6 stuff. When Amy and Henry swapped places in the formation, it was impressive. The moves they did, most people in season 3 Coming Home could do. Season 6 was like the old school Next Step, but it would have been nice to see more originality, like different from season 3, but in a good way. Like, it would have been nice to see them be more original, like be like this new A troupe that are as good as that, but are a team like they were in season 3, but different, because different would have been better. Though season 6 A troupe felt more like a team than season 7 A troupe. Everyone was happy in that dance, that's one thing I'm going to admit. Planned out, but it lacked individuality in my opinion. Amy did the spider well, but it would be nice to see Amy do something different, because Giselle did the spider. Jackie's handstands were good. Nobody, not even Piper, was... And Piper really went through it and did something slightly different. Like, most people did do slightly different things, but it was very, like, unoriginal in my opinion. Angela, when they did their pose, was good. Hyped up the episode even more. Who is this woman? Why does she not like the dance? Why does she think it's terrible when it's not? First place is my favourite. Coming Home. I love Coming Home. I think it's such an iconic dance on The Next Step. It's the most memorable group dance in my opinion. And it was the best way to start season 3 because it made us feel like we were coming home, coming back to The Next Step for another season. We started with Jiley. I liked what they did, but we didn't need to start with Jiley. I think should have started with Alden and Michelle because they did the duet in the finals routine, which won nationals, so it would have been better if they started. I know they couldn't because Michelle's parents were divorced, but it would have been nice if they could have done that, like, maybe done. Also, I love how they cut from the outside shots to Jiley because it felt very flawless, quite seamless. People got to do short solos before their main solo, so we got to see the characters quite well, which felt like we didn't get in season 6. It was quite straight into the dance. The boys' small group was amazing because there were some different moves that we'd never seen before. It felt like the bit where they did do it in canon. One person starts and then another joins in. If you don't get what I mean, watch the dance, you will get an idea. The girls' bit was iconic, which Amy and Piper did in season 6. It's a very unoriginal dance. Nobody was shown to be a weak dancer. Everyone's on the same level with all the choreography. The boys' bit, nobody was the weak link because they all did their own thing. I like the boys and the girls' sections. Sense of originality to the section. Not everybody looked like robots being pushed into dance. It's in the same way. Everybody had the same amount of time on screen. We saw everyone for an equal amount of time. It was a natural routine, showed what everyone can do. not what they can't do, which I thought was really good. So I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in another video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe down below, and I'm sorry I've just repeated myself. Bye.